First of all, that was awesome. Everything so far has been really awesome. It's like Simone was saying, I just remember sitting in a room and seeing everything just through her vision and through her words. So to see it now in action, it's very good. So thank you guys for being here, really. Well, let's start this. My name is Kasir Simpson, and I just wanted to take a moment to give thanks and show my appreciation. Once again, thank you all for attending, seriously.
Yes, sir.
Looking into the crowd as an artist and seeing so many people that are here to support us, it's really inspiring. It's hard as an artist for a variety of reasons. So, just thank you guys sincerely. Thank you. I encourage you guys to, meet someone new, introduce yourselves, and, support our artists that are here, because they've got really dope art, so please check them out. Secondly, I want to give a special shout out to my Hierophant team members. They, they're just all a really great group of people. I remember sitting in the room on the initial meeting, and I was just looking around. And I was like, this is really cool to be a part of, because everyone's talented, yeah, but these are genuinely good people that just really want to show off their craft. So please give a clap for them. And lastly, I want to say thank you to me. Not like the person you guys see here, but the person who I was, the last iteration of me, the one that got me to this point. Our relationship was a little rocky at times, but ultimately I want to give him a send-off because I feel like I've grown to a point where I can, lay him to rest.
Yeah.
The theme of tonight's show is liberation and freedom, and I want to let you guys know a little bit about myself. It's a condensed version of my story, but for the main part, I just want you guys to know that there is a chance for a better tomorrow. I don't know everyone's story in here, but sometimes we walk around with emotions that have been weighing on us for a long time. It can feel heavy. It feels like we can't breathe sometimes. But just know that there is a way to overcome those emotions. It just takes a lot of patience and, honesty. But if you guys don't mind, I'd like to share a little bit about myself. Now, okay, sorry, I lied. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, I cannot stress enough that I am not a licensed medical provider or practitioner. I'm not trying to sell you anything either, even though I'm very charismatic. I'm just a guy that's been working on himself for a while, and I'm really starting to feel the benefits of the work that I've put in. If you guys are curious about getting into therapy or anything like that, I recommend talking to your primary care doctor. There's a lot of different options out there, so just ask if you're curious. Now we can get started. Looking back, I had an awesome upbringing. I was provided with so much love and support from my mother and my grandmother, who are sitting right here. I love you guys so much. Overall, I was a happy kid. Despite every blessing that I had, I noticed that there was this voice in my head that told me I wasn't really deserving of any of it. I think the first time I clocked it, I was, maybe 6 years old. It's kind of intense, Now, the voice wasn't always there, mind you. It usually appeared when I happened to make a mistake or when I was feeling overwhelmed by my emotions. Also, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to give this voice a name because referring to it as the voice is going to get tiring. So I named him Ralph. as I was growing up, Ralph's intensity was also growing. When I was a little kid, he was primarily doubtful and relatively harmless, but I noticed a huge shift when I entered middle school. I think we can all agree that middle school sucks, right? Yeah, yeah. It's just like the combination of, new social expectations, new people, puberty. Nobody enjoyed puberty, right? No, me neither. I'm right there with you. It also didn't help that I ended up, running into some pretty mean people, some mean-spirited people. For whatever reason, they felt comfortable kind of projecting their feelings onto me. And I think the worst part of that is I kind of started to internalize some of those feelings, Some of them, being called a nerd for playing Yu-Gi-Oh! At lunch, that's whatever. But other ones, like my body, I was experiencing body dysmorphia before I even knew that, how to name. Or even my voice, something that I had to really work on loving. That just almost like kind of reaffirmed those feelings that I was experiencing in my mind. To counteract these swirls of emotions I was experiencing, I started to do, coping mechanisms, right? Like some pretty cool ones, like binge eating, emotional eating, eating some more. I really liked eating. Food was my friend at the time. It was a rough relationship with food for a while. But, the most destructive thing that I did was I kept bottling my emotions. It felt very hard for me to, it felt very hard, and it felt like I couldn't truly open up to people for a long time. Even my parents, who were always there for me, it just felt easier to just keep it all inside. And that works, but not really. Eventually the bottle gets full and it doesn't really have anywhere to go. So it just kind of comes, all at once, like an explosion almost. I said there were coping mechanisms. I didn't say there were very good ones. But now we enter high school, the period of my life where I tried my absolute hardest to avoid my feelings, while simultaneously attempting to please everyone around me. It's not fun being a people pleaser, but you seek that validation from other people because you don't feel all that great about yourself. Does anyone have experience with that in here? Yeah. I mean, I was giving my 110% to every single person that I knew. And I did that to avoid myself, if that makes any sense. It's, I was kind of convinced at some point in time that if I couldn't really have this happiness for myself, then I could find it through other people. Which, that doesn't work. You should help people because you want to help them, not because you want to, take their happiness. That was pretty toxic of me. It was during junior and senior year of high school that I came up with this crazy plan. I thought that I could just kind of maneuver through life if I planned every step very carefully. It's almost like a game, right? If you progress on a game board. But that didn't really work out too well. My first year of college, my freshman year, I'm glad everything that happened. I would do it all over again, I promise, but it was very rough. Just, kind of realizing that this carefully crafted plan just fell apart on the first day of college. I was like, I have to do a whole semester of this and then keep going? It reached the point where, I stopped going to class. I stayed in my dorm room more and more, kept getting food, kept talking to Ralph. Yeah, the voice in my head, by the way, for anyone that just got in. And it reached a point where that was definitely a low point in my life. That was, at the time, my rock bottom. And the thing about hitting your rock bottom that you may not realize at the time is there's always room to go up. There's always room to reevaluate, reassess, and you can really build your foundation again based off of the kind of journey that you want to take for yourself. Needless to say, I flunked out of college spring semester, and I moved in with my dad, and it started this vicious cycle where I would wake up, play video games, eat, play video games, eat, play video games, eat some more, and then go to bed so I can just do the same thing tomorrow. That's where I was at life. I'd kind of given up at that point, if I'm being completely honest. People noticed, my eyes, they started to fade, that twinkle that people have. Mine just wasn't there. It's just a sea of dark brown, And I realized, I need to do something. Something needs to change. I can't keep sitting in this position anymore, because if I do, I'm gonna lose my life. So it was the year 2020. I decided to get back into therapy. And after 7 different therapists, you don't always get it right the first time. I've really found one that I felt like I could connect with, that I could resonate with. And through there, we learned various coping mechanisms. I learned how to unpack a lot of these feelings that I've just held on to for so long, because at this point in time, the bottle kind of turned into like a volcano, and the eruption was crazy. Every single time it happened, I was just like, please, I hope this is like the last one, I hope it is, because I can't take this anymore. But slowly over time, I began to learn how to express myself, so I can open up to my family and to my loved ones, just really let them know how I'm feeling. And it's definitely paying off, I feel like I'm able to process my feelings a lot better. I feel like whenever things do go wrong, because that's life, nobody lives a perfect life. If we did, I don't think that's really living at all, if you ask me. Anytime a negative feeling arises, I'm able to work through it better. And I want you guys to know, you can do the same. Like I said, I don't know everyone's story in here. And, I gave you a little bit of mine. You feel free to take anything I say with a grain of salt, but sometimes when you're going through these intense feelings of depression and anxiety, you feel very alienated. You have so much going on in your head, you're like, where do I even begin? How do I even open up dialogue with someone? Are they gonna respond to it well? Are they just gonna say, oh, don't be sad, you have so much to be grateful for, Because sometimes people don't wanna hear that, They just wanna be listened to, They wanna be reassured. They wanna know that you're there for them. And I just wanted to share real quick just some things that I picked up on my journey so far. The first thing is that the negative voice that you experience in your head, that's not you. You know what I mean? It's a manifestation of a variety of things. It could be your fears. It could be, your excitement, your doubts. But for the most part, that's not who you are as a whole, right? That's only a very small section of who you are. So I have a challenge for you guys. First, I want you guys to give that negative voice in your head a name. You can take Ralph. But I encourage you guys to choose a name that, completely separates you from that voice. And anytime that voice comes around, take out a piece of paper or your phone and just start listing things that you really enjoy about yourself. Start listing things that you're proud of. Things that you've done in the past, things that you've got going on right now, things that you want to do. Because it really helps to see it, it helps to leave your head. Another thing I want you guys to do is just be open to new experiences. if you guys are looking for change, that's going to require an open mindset. I'm just going to be honest, you know. And change can be good. I'm not saying it's fun, the process of going through change, but it's a necessary thing if you want to, you know, get to the next step, whatever that looks like for you in life. You just really have to be open to whatever might come next. I know for me, it was very uncomfortable practicing vulnerability with this professional licensed stranger I just met the other day. But I'm really glad I stuck with it because it's given me a lot of confidence in my ability to just embrace the uncomfortable things in life. Another thing I want you guys to do is I want you guys to check up or check in with people that you love, you know, check in with your loved ones, you know. They might say they're okay, you know, but if you feel like something's off, you know, if you feel like they're not really opening up, just attempt, you know, let them know that you care about them and that you see them, you know, and that you love them for who they are. Because, like I said earlier, it can be very alienating to, you know, to go through these things that you can't quite vocalize. So, and one last thing, I want you guys to realize that you are deserving of good things in life. I'm not talking to anyone in particular, but just the crowd of you guys. You guys are deserving of good things in life. And that can look like anything. That could be that new promotion you've been chasing after. That could be that new outfit you might have been eyeing. I'm a huge sneakerhead myself. I totally get it. But sometimes when life kind of throws you in the ringer, it feels like you really question, like, you know, why is this happening, like, to me? Am I destined to just keep going through hardships after hardships after hardships? You know, sometimes it can feel never ending. But just throughout the process, keep in mind that you are deserving of that better tomorrow. Everyone is. And yeah, you know, I don't want to come up here and you know, try to perform or be like super animated, like, you know, just I'm speaking from my heart. You know, me personally, I'm kind of going through a wide variety of emotions right now, but even still, I wanted to share a little bit about myself, even if only one person in this room really registered with what I was understanding or with what I was saying, then, you know, mission success. Hopefully that person, you know, just realizes that, you know, I see, I understand, you know, and things will get better. So thank you guys so much for listening to us. So real quick, we're about to get ready for the fashion show segment of our, you know, performance. So if you guys look on the ground, there's some tape, like some white masking tape.